Today is World Mental Health Day, and millions of Americans still struggling to get the care they need for their mental health. Joining us this morning, our good friend, licensed clinical mental health specialist, Dr. Cherise Johnson. Always a pleasure to have you here this morning. We're going to talk about some numbers and data. It's not good for the most part, you know, but it is what it is, and these are numbers that we have to talk about. And I do want to start with a little bit of levity, if I can, because sometimes these can be very difficult conversations. I heard this morning that therapy is good because talking to your plants only helps so much. Here's one more. Self-care isn't selfish unless you eat the whole pizza, then maybe just a little bit. And it's okay. The reason I bring that up is because on this World Mental Health Day, in this industry, I mean, it really doesn't matter what industry, but for us, we talk about death, we talk about murder, we talk about crime and house fires, and it just becomes so heavy. And if you're home watching the news, as you know, no wonder people want to stop watching. It just all feels heavy and negative. No one wants to talk about death and illness and trauma. What should we take on World Mental Health Day? What do we do with all that?
Well, I think there's a few different ways that we can take perspective. One, if you are in a place that your mental health is neutral or positive, you can see that as a win, right? It's very helpful to say to yourself, I may not be where I want to be, but I am still here and I'm still trying. The other thing that I think that is important is, even though the numbers are staggering, what we can also say is that means more people are aware and more people are being open and honest and not hiding the fact that they're hurting, and that's a definite win.
Okay, I can see that. Speaking of numbers, let's put some numbers up that we want to talk about. When we're looking at, my gosh, whether it's suicide, numbers just came out recently. Look at this. We're talking 14 million adults, serious thoughts of that last year. Almost 3 million youth experienced major depression. You've got mental illness that gets, you know, untreated, unmet sometimes. We found out the other day that almost 50% in North Carolina of Gen Z more suicide than 10 years ago. Okay, so in our car, we get a warning light that goes off if it detects something going wrong. You get blood work from your doctor, something pops up. But when it comes to mental health, like, what are the warning signs? How do we even know if we're in a good or bad place?
So those warning signs do exist. They can look like difficulty sleeping, changes to your eating habits, whether that's sleeping too little or oversleeping. It can also look like a loss of interest in things that you once enjoyed, or noticing that there's a desire to isolate and withdraw, or not feeling connected to people that you care about.
I hear people say sometimes, or post on social media, whether it's grief or trauma or whatever they're going through, I'm going to move on from it, or you just need to move on from it. Is that good advice to give someone? Can you move on from stuff, or do you really have to figure out how to go through it?
Yeah, you want to go through it. It's not possible just to move on, because typically if we say move on, that means that you're trying to numb, or you're minimizing to pretend that it is not as significant as what it is. But anything that we stuff will eventually come to the surface. So we want you to see it, to be able to name it. We actually know from neuroscience that being able to name what we feel and that specific emotion helps separate it from us and allows us to see that as the problem versus us as the problem. So we do not want you to push through.
If I can ask you this, we were talking about this right before we came on air, and I didn't even ask your permission, but I know you just came back from spending time with some professional athletes.
Yes.
The Vikings and the Twins up in Minnesota. When you're looking at athletes that appear on the surface to be on top of the world, their bank account shows they're on top of the world. Do you notice, even at that stage in life, some mental health issues that may have gone unchecked?
Here's the thing, you can't always notice what's happening. And that was a big part of the conversation, that there's this duality that depending upon what you do in life, we mask very well. So one of the best things that we can do is never make the assumption that because everything looks well, it is well. That's where we have to spend time, have conversations like these, and make sure that we're listening for those little nuances to know that people might be struggling underneath.
Yeah. When you get up, Cherise, every day and look in the mirror, do you give yourself some of those affirmations? I mean, is there just something that we can do, something small every day, just to make one little step to have better mental health?
So if I'm honest, I wake up every morning and I say, I am so grateful for another day of life. I lost my mother very young. She did not have a very long life, and that was such a turning point to me. And I also know that my worst day is someone else's best day.
Ooh. Wow, that's true. Someone could always have it worse.
Yeah.
Be grateful. I love starting the day with gratitude.
Yeah.
What a great day to look at. A great way to look at that. Cherise, thank you for coming on. We always enjoy these topics and conversations with you on this World Mental Health Day. By the way, we do want to mention and want to put up some information for you this morning. The National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Listen, you're not alone. Even if you feel lonely and alone, there's always someone that can help 24/7. You can call or text 988.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.